Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sah Vedyam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastama Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti. Yes.
So I had a question based on last class.
Yeah.
So we were talking about karma and then the phala, which is artha, kama, and dharma. So kama, we said, is pleasure, and dharma is the papa punya. I wanted to know what is the difference between kama and papa punya, because papa punya is also you're getting good and not good things. That's one question. The other was, in karma, why don't we include displeasure also? Where will the not good things come?
That's where Papa comes. Not good. Unpleasant.
Unpleasant.
Unpleasant experiences. That's a phala. See, good. See, when we say the fruit, enjoyment means experience. You're taking enjoyment to be only the joy part of it. It's not joy part of it. It's the experience part. You get things. You get the, okay, to put it in an easier language where you can understand. Karma, you take it as external, situation, which is very conducive, comfortable. Dharma, you take it as internal condition. Then it will be a little easier for you. One is with your karma, what you can get. Everyone will think you are having such a fantastic car. Only you know the problem of parking. Every day there is a fight with the neighbor. Who knows that? Only you know that. You see, the guest who is coming to your house will think what? Oh my God, you have such a big car. Only you know the problem of EMI. He doesn't know. What is his problem? Yes. See, there are two different things now. One is that external appearance of thing, or you can take it as something which is so temporary. Another one is long lasting. Papa Punya gives you the long lasting experience of pleasure pain. Kama gives you the immediate experience of pleasure pain. So it all depends upon how you are going to interpret. You see, it's just a question of you to think over, and various possibilities exist. Another way you can interpret the whole thing is the results that you get. You do karma, you get the phala. The results can be of various patterns. 4 possibilities are there. First possibility, you get what you expected. Possibility 2, you get more than what you expected. Possibility 3, you get less than what you expected. What is the 4th one? Huh? Huh? No result is not possible. Result will come. Every karma will produce result.
Unexpected. Infinite.
Huh? Infinite, how result how you get from finite action?
Not proportional. Disproportionate.
Disproportionate is over in this 3, no?
Bad experience.
more, less, equal. There is a fourth one, which is what most of us miss. These three, everyone will understand straight away. You write exams, what you will get? Simple. You get, yeah, I thought, I'll get 60 marks. I got, 62 I got. 63 I got. That's all. Another thing is what? 40, 45 are very happy actually. They say. Less than what you got. You see, the less can be anything. 40 also is less actually. Right. Then 20 also? Much less actually. But it moves in the direction of less. Suddenly you get the gold medal. University first. You wrote only for 60 marks. You are the university gold medalist. Much, much more than what you expected. Or you can get 70. Now, what Vedanta says is, it says there is a fourth possibility. Deferred always. The result can get, when the result will come, we don't know. Like you write exam, do you know when the result will come? You may say, I am planning everything perfect, sir, but then suddenly war breaks out. Because of which? Corona, shutdown. Suddenly they decided all those people who appeared, pass. You see, the fourth one is,
Unexpected.
what is unexpected? Unexpected is more or less, isn't it? The fourth one is a class. First three very easy, we can figure it out. Fourth one is contrary to what you expected. Exactly opposite of what you thought. You do something so good. So our belief is what? When I do good, see, when I'm being nice to you, what do I expect?
Same thing.
See, should be at least nice. No, you don't have to be. What you are doing is exactly opposite of what I expected. Contrary to what is. All these four possibilities are there. When you get a phala, remember, the fruit of all your actions can be any one of these. Now, first thing we need to eradicate in our result is what? Contrary. First thing we say is, let there not be a contrary result. Second one we will eliminate is what? Less than what I expected. Correct. Then, at least let me get what I wanted. Then we will say what? Will you be satisfied with that? No. We will always ask slightly more, no? As expected. See, that's what we expect. What we actually want is not the exact equal to our effort. If you think carefully in your life, objectively when you analyze, all the success that you are experiencing, do you deserve it actually speaking? No. Not many times. Always. Not many times. The success that you are experiencing is not what you actually deserve. It's only because of what? Like Swamiji says, your competitors are so dumb. You are successful. Why? Because the competitors are so dumb. Therefore, you appear like, oh, you are a great, sir, he is the best in our office. That means what? That shows who are the people working in that office. Think carefully. That's what Shakespeare says. Divinity that shapes our ends. The divinity still protecting you, taking care of you. So you can analyze result in very many ways. On that day, we just did it in one angle. That's all it is. It happened so, we just gave this as, oh, we was giving 333, so I said 333 we'll give. That's all it is. So there's no hard and fast rule, that's how it should be discussed. Another thing is why we discuss only these things, these three, is because the fourth Purushartha, there are four Purusharthas: Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Moksha is not the result of your action. You see, of the four Purusharthas, what we aspire in life is the four things. These four things you can achieve through your effort. The fourth one is not because of your effort. See, so therefore, we say phala means where it will be. It will fall into only these three categories. Either it will fall into the category of dharma, or it will fall into the category of artha, or it will fall into the category of kama. Because the fourth Purushartha is not the result of effect of your effort. So that's how the derivation is. On what basis we say it's not arbitration? It's because fundamentally all human beings aspire only these four. And the fourth one is not because of your effort. Then why put in effort? Problem will come. Oh, we thought, if we attend Vedanta class, we will get moksha. Oh, we thought if we do this Ekadashi Vrata, I'll get moksha. Vaikuntha Ekadashi. If I fast, I will get moksha. Now you are saying year after year after year you can keep fasting. It's good for your gut. It's good for your stomach. Moksha will not come. Suppose if I attend classes, will it come? No. If I do seva, will it come? No. Any effort you do, that will not come. Then why are you putting that effort? Then why should you put in that effort? But still, who recommends it? It's a Shastra which recommends. Who says it's not the result of your effort? The Shastra. Shastra itself says it's not the result of your effort. The Shastra itself says you should put in all these efforts.
Just net practice.
There's no net practice. Net practice, you will perform, no? Never you are going to play. But you have to go to the nets every day. With anticipation, one day you will play somewhere, no? At least IPL will play. If not national team. Now, earlier it will be, Ranji Trophy, first division, second division and all that. At least we will play for our company. SBI will have a cricket team. And then this fellow is playing for the team, but then he will be the employee of the bank. But he'll never go to the office. He will not know anything with reference to banking system. Whether he is employee of the bank. At least somewhere I will play. No. Here, Vedanta very clear. He says, never it is going to give. Any effort you put in is not going to produce moksha. Then why is it asking you to put in all this effort?
It is purified. It is purified.
Purified.
You have to sustain yourself.
Sustain yourself in there. Right. I'm not checking your knowledge. Okay. Just to think. Why is he asking?
It's a way of life.
The way of life. I think all you people read a lot, I think. It's not going to give you directly moksha, but it will help you to eradicate which is obstructing moksha. You see, you have put on the screen. Because you have put that screen, the sunlight is not coming inside and you are not enjoying the sunlight. Right? Your effort is to remove the curtain. That doesn't mean because you have removed that curtain, sun is obliged to illumine. You follow? You're able to see the difference. Sun is not going to be obliged. Please no. Once you remove, you demand. Now that I have removed the curtain, you better come in. You can't demand that. At the same time, if you put on that screen, how much ever the sunlight wants to come in, it will not be possible. It will not happen. So all your effort is only what? Remove the obstruction. What is the screen here? The screen is the ignorance. The ignorance. Ignorance of your real nature. Since you are ignorant of that real nature, which is finite, the finite efforts, the tapas, sadhana, all these things will eliminate that finite avidya. Right? So, through this finite effort of yours, which is the entire krama, sadhana krama is there. Of course, you have to practice it in that sequence. Now, you can't do random. Random effort is not going to help. Like in some houses, you cannot pull that screen by yourself. You can't just pull it. You need to go and switch on. Like on stage alone, you see, the screen is so big. With your hands, you will not be able to move. So you have to call the operator and ask him to press the button there. When he presses the button, the motor which is connected to the screen and that is connected to a string, through that string, it gets pulled. On your own, you cannot do it. So every screen cannot be removed the same way that we think a screen removal. So there is a process. So through that process alone, you will be able to remove the screen. When you remove that screen, arrival of sunlight, automatic. Sunlight arrival is automatic. But the sunlight is not going to have any partiality. Saying, I'll give here more, I'll give here less. Special consideration for you. There's nothing special there. But then all this effort is for what? To do, and that needs to be done in a particular fashion and all that. Then the entire sadhana krama starts. So moksha is not because of this, which means all karma will give you only what? The three. Dharma, artha, kama. Now it is up to us to interpret what is the meaning of dharma, what is the meaning of artha, what is the meaning of kama. All that is up to your imagination. There's no rule as such. This is what it is. There's no such thing, please. That's why Dharma Shastra, if you take, it is written by many people. And many times we see there are conflicting things also presented. Parasara Smriti will say one thing, Manusmriti will say one thing, Yamasmriti will say one thing. Now what to do? You have to call all these three fellows. Parasara correct, Manu correct, Yamasmriti correct, Narada Smriti correct. That's why they ask, whatever you are following, just follow that Smriti, full stop. Don't worry about what is stated in all the Smritis. It is not required for you. What is the legal system in India? Follow. Don't worry about what is a British system. Don't worry about what is the Constitution of United States. That is none of your problem. You cannot study law in India and go to US and practice. Not allowed. No, but I studied, that is separate. Same way. Wherever you are, whoever you are, you follow your system. Whatever you have been following in the past, just follow that, that's enough. There's no necessity for us. But today the problem we are having is too much of access to the information. You see, every class I have this problem of YouTube. I've been resisting it for so many years. Because it's a flooding of information, and the problem is what? You read this, you read that, you listen to this, you listen to that, you listen to too many things. And finally, what is going to happen to you? You will start keeping judging. He spoke well there. You start issuing certificates. You certify. I don't know what to do. It is an issue only. That's why, this knowledge was taught to people in person. And you have to go in search of a teacher to learn. Now, sitting in your bedroom, lying on your bed and you are listening. What Shraddha you can have? Before we, open a book to read, first thing we do is we touch that book and worship. We touch the book, worship the book, and then open the book. Because it's knowledge. You're getting knowledge. Have you ever touched your mobile phone and worshipped it? Forget about the person who is inside that. The instrument, do you have any value? No respect at all for that. Why? Too much of information. You see, that's why the confusion is. That's why the system is very clear. Whatever is being given in your, what they used to call as Kula Dharma. That's why when we are introducing to people, we do pranams. You see, these traditional people do this namaskara. After this namaskara, they will say something, they will say something. What are they saying? Introducing themselves. What is introduction? What is it that I follow? Who is my ancestors? Stating ancestor, immediately my father, grandfather, great-grand. No. What is the Rishi Parampara I belong to? And what is the Smriti that I follow? A person who belongs to this particular Rishi Parampara, and this one. Your father is not someone who is such an, figure to be referred to. But all of us think, my God, my father is an extraordinary man. Is there anything, worth? You have great respect to him. That doesn't mean you don't have respect. But then your introduction cannot be through that. Here, the introduction is from where? The introduction is, I belong to that Rishi Parampara. And each one have their own systems. Some of them will use, 3 rishis they refer. Some of them will give 5 rishis. Some of them 4. Some of them 2. Some of them 1. I don't care about, how many numbers actually. It's nothing to do with the numbers. And then we refer to what is that portion of that Veda which I studied and what is that I follow. Not only I just study that, I follow. Nowadays, we don't say those things, therefore, we don't even remember. That's why nowadays, even in temple, we feel, I don't see people comfortably doing this prostration. Go to the temples and see, stand in the corner and see. If 100 fellows are coming, 20 fellows will prostrate. Of the 20, you will find 19 of them check. Is anyone looking at them? Fascinating. We can't even prostrate nowadays. That much of ego. Nothing else. What is it? That much of arrogance inside. You can't prostrate. Why? Because you have that same information. Information is there with you also. So whatever information he is carrying, you're also carrying the same information. That's why this generation gap, we say, no. We were not having that with our fathers. Why? Your child is not going to have the same respect as you had respect to your father. Not because your father is brilliant, you are dumb. And not because your son is too brilliant than you. Nothing of that sort. Respect will come where?
Actions.
Where respect will come? When will you have respect?
There's something to learn from.
And then you will respect only a person who is going to teach you.
Or elderly. Surrender.
Effect of that is surrender.
Dependent on somebody.
Respect.
You live,
Huh?
when you live whatever you are doing,
If you're living already, respect is there.
I mean, living by what you're saying.
Valuing
Correct. Wherever there is disparity, respect will come. The disparity can be anything. It's not only with reference to knowledge, please. If the disparity were to be material, also you will have respect. If disparity were to be in power, respect will come. If this disparity were to be there with fame, respect will come. Automatic. So what is the difference between a celebrity and you? But the moment a celebrity comes, what happens? People immediately will say, give way. Let them go first. Front row is always fixed for who?
Yes.
Babies. That's why any program you go, don't worry about anything. Simply walk to the front row. Invariably, you will find minimum 1 seat vacant. Just go and sit there. Nobody will ask you, including the organizer, because each one will think, maybe he is known to that person. That fellow will think he is known to this person. Just walk. Only thing is you should walk with full confidence, head erect, not looking here and there and all that. Straight look and walk. Have a straight face and walk. They'll think you are maybe he is big fellow here, we don't know. Wherever there is disparity, respect will come. Today, what's happening with the current generation is that disparity has shrunk. Because the only way to gain knowledge in those days were through experience. Today, knowledge is available even without any experience. Therefore, what took your father to know 20 years, this fellow has that in a matter of 20 minutes. But then he thinks what? Equal to you, no. Because in fact, he will think what? You are so stupid. That's why you took 20 years. I am so brilliant. I got it in 20 minutes. So who is superior? Now, remember, respect will come only when between the way the lower looks at the higher. That's called respect. And all of us demand respect from the world, want respect from people, but then how do you show that disparity? I'm superior to you. The problem is that's where all these issues come. So I have to show. How do I show that? I have to withhold something. That's why sample material will be given. Sample material. I'll give you a sample. There I will give you something. And then I'll say what? If you want a complete material, join my course. If you want more knowledge, free lecture will not give you that. You should join my 10-day course. If you join that program, you will get that. If you don't join that program, you will not get it. So I have to make you what?
Dependent.
I have to show you first, I have something, and then I have to trigger that interest in you, and then the moment I share that information, I know what will happen. That's why all this, yoga studios, so many yoga studios, ask this authentic, traditional people who have learned yoga, ask them, they say, sir, these people come, stay with us for 6 months. Go back to the country and open a yoga studio. 6 months. B.K. Sayangar, he says, with his teacher, Krishnamacharya, his teacher, he wanted to learn. So he goes. Krishnamacharya, every day he would come. For 3 months, every day he will come. Morning. Krishnamacharya will not even pay attention. He will come and stand. He'll keep standing. B.K. Sayangar in his house. He keeps standing. He will go on doing his own things. He will not even pay any attention to him. 3 hours he has to stand like that. And then he will go inside. Once he goes inside, he will not come out after that. So B.K. Sayangar will go back. 3 months it was going on and on and on and on and on. He's asking, afterwards he says, it seems Krishnamacharya told him, you didn't even know how to stand properly. You want to learn yoga. 3 months for him to, what he was teaching, to stand. Just to stand. Not this, asana and all that, not vrikshasana, this asana, that, nothing of that sort. Just stand. Just to stand, he says, it will take 3 months to learn, to master. And then you have to teach. Yoga, very easy actually. That's why yoga studios are more. Meditation center is even more. Because at least yoga, I have to show. Pada Hastasana, I have to go and touch. Meditation, even that is not required. All of you close your first thing I will tell you is what? Close your eyes. You should not open your eyes. I can do whatever I want. You see, nothing is required. But if I have to explain what is karma phala, what is this, what is that, such a tough job. Many times I feel, it's easy thing to start with meditation class. All of you come and meditate and go back. House full. Least effort. Wherever there is disparity, there will be respect. Now, in the current generation, we say people are not respect. Earlier, we used to have tremendous respect to the teachers. The current generation doesn't carry that respect to the teachers. Not because the teachers' quality has dropped. Oh, nowadays teachers are very bad, sir. There's nothing of that sort, please. Teacher community remains the same. The problem is what? The problem is that information gap, that knowledge gap has shrunk. Since this has shrunk, automatically the respect will, see, affection may be there. Mark my words carefully. I'm only talking about respect. I'm not talking about affection. Love may be there. But the problem for humanity is that we are not satisfied with love alone. We are not happy with love alone. People loving you is not important as much as people respecting you. Because love is from mind. Respect is from intellect. That's an intellectual joy. It's an emotional delight. And intellect is subtler than the mind. Therefore, what you will aspire for in life is what? For the subtle. You'll never be satiated with this. It goes in that sequence. Karma phala is anything. Depends on how you interpret it. Right? The 15th chapter is considered very, auspicious chapter. Bhagavad Gita itself is auspicious. In that Gita, 15th chapter is a special one. Because 15th chapter is a complete chapter. Karma Yoga, for example, the third chapter is not a complete chapter. Of course, it explains about the karma. Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga, Karma Sannyasa Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, all this, all these chapters were valuable. But then those chapters were not considered a complete chapter. See, because completion means the entire philosophy should be presented in that. And in any philosophical discussion, there are few topics to be discussed. Only when you discuss about certain topics, it's called philosophy. Right? The first one, you say, not the number, I'm just giving you the list. That's it. So I'm just saying up one. One is any sampradaya, when you read, if you ask these questions, if you have clarity on these topics in these parts, you have mastered that field of philosophy, any system of philosophy for that matter. First, you need to ask, what is the nature of God, or what we know as nature of God. Discussion about Ishvara, right? God. Then Who is that Jiva? And then, what is that Jagat, world? So, Jiva Swarupa, Ishvara Swarupa, and Jagat Swarupa. What is the nature of the world, the Jagat? And what is that samsara? What is samsara? And what is moksha? So, to any system of philosophy you go, and then what is the sadhana? These are the 6 words, remember. First one,
Ishvara.
Ishvara. Correct. Ishvara. Ishvara, Jiva, Jagat. Then samsara, moksha, sadhana. What is the swarupa of moksha? What is liberation according to you? Tell me.
Liberating soul.
That's all. What is the meaning of it? Liberating the soul. Now, what is that soul? What is the nature of Atma? That's where all these words will come. You cannot discuss any philosophy unless you have clarity on the 6 words. Every system is different because they give different definitions to these 6 words. What is the difference between Sankhya system and Vaisheshika, Vedanta? What is the difference? The difference is only in these 6 words. That's all. What is moksha according to those people? According to them, moksha is this. Another group of people will say moksha means this. So, the problem is only because of what? Because what we are going to consider as moksha, the highest achievement possible. For many people, after death, going to heaven is the moksha, full stop. There's nothing beyond that. But when it comes to other systems, they say going to heaven is not moksha, because you go, you come back. Because the swarupa of that heaven is what? Nature of heaven is temporary. But there the nature of heaven is permanent. There they say heaven is a permanent place. Hell is a permanent place. If heaven is permanent, then hell also has to be permanent. Right. Now, how can you have a permanent hell? What is the greatest work you can ever do to deserve to get to
Permanence.
permanent heaven or permanent hell? How? That's where the problem comes, you see. So if you are studying a particular, that's why you read too many systems, now you get confused. Why that confusion comes is because we are not having a clarity in terms of what is it that I mean as Ishvara. The problem is, I will take the definition of Ishvara from one system and definition of moksha from another system, sadhana krama from another system. It's like taking the upholsteries from one car, body is taken from one car, the engine is taken from another car, tires are from another car. You make a car like that. Body is BMW, engine is Alto, and then you are having the wheels from a truck. Imagine tractor wheel. What vehicle will be that? That's what we are all today. You see, why we say don't go to the systems is because unless you are having a clarity in terms of definition for these 6 words, and what is superb about 15th chapter is all these 6 words discussed here. That's why it's a complete chapter. In no other chapter, or in a very limited knowledge, I can say, in no other textbook we have all the 6 discussed with such precision in 20 verses. And Upanishads don't give so much like. See, here explains all the 6. That's why each verse is superb here. It defines what is this, what is this, what is this, and then how that works, how this works, what is to be done. Over. Beautiful chapter. That's why, we don't feel like moving out of the chapter only, actually. The joy of the chapter you will experience only when you understand the power in the chapter, the beauty of the chapter. Why this chapter is celebrated so much? Purushottama Yoga. It takes, slightly above Upanishad, in my personal one. Like, it's not even on par with Upanishad suddenly he switches off to something far. See, 13th chapter is, that's what we'll find, this 13th chapter, 14th chapter, 15th chapter, 16th chapter, 17th chapter, and all that. It's like if you take this Himalayan ranges, right, entire Himalayans range, if you take that's the 18 chapters. In that 15th chapter is Everest. 13th chapter is Kailash. You can't miss that, you see. Rest are all there. It's okay. And it's so beautiful to see how that grows. It ranges, So many times I ask this, people love to travel in the, Ghat section during monsoon time. Very risky. Don't try it. Very risky. But I love that. To travel during that time, to see this, mountain ranges. And how actually to see that. Just to see that, that's all. Till I saw this Himalayan mountains swelling. As you go up, you start from, from Dehradun you start. It's plain. You will not see anything, actually. You start travel, towards this Rishikesh, you go. As you are going towards the Rishikesh, you will start seeing the mountains coming, And then you go up. As you keep going upper, higher and higher and higher you go, you see them, each one is swelling so beautifully. Achala, he says, of the unmoving, I am the Himalayas, he says. I am the Himalayas amongst the unmoving. You can see them standing there, aghast, actually. And they say these are all very small. As we go higher to this Gangotri, I went up to that part. I couldn't travel beyond that. To see that, I met a person there. He says, "Chinnadu, sir. These are all small ones. That side you should go and see. Actual mountain you want to experience, go that side." Oh, fascinating to see that. It swells like that. This Bhagavad Gita is. From the first chapter is like plain. In fact, it's down. Dehradun. First chapter. And crying. So like a cry with the Archana. From second chapter, you see the first mountain. First time you see a mountain, how you will feel is the second chapter. And then you get used to it. It will go. Of course, it keeps swelling, 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 swelling. Suddenly you see this standing. Oh, 13th chapter. You come to 15th chapter, 13th chapter will look very small. So something, beyond the clouds. It goes above. What is powerful in the chapter is this one. That's why each word, each verse is so pregnant with ideas, so potent. Is because of that. So he starts with the description. So he explains about what is world, what is samsara, all that explanation he has given, and he has given the methodology also, how you should go about it. First, you develop vairagya. After developing vairagya, you get into this knowledge. With knowledge, you knock off and get that wisdom. What wisdom you get, what understanding you will have, you will understand the real nature of the self. What is the real nature of the self? Verse 6. We have covered those first few points. So those who missed the class, you can listen to that. Because if I start again, it will be more confusing. Right? The first 4 verses, we are in verse number 6. First 5 verses. The subject matter is these things. What is the samsara? And then what is the sadhana krama? And how you get out of that samsara. With that, what is the understanding you will have? You will have the understanding of the nature of Atma, the self. And how that creation, all that is, stated there. Now in verse 6, he gives what is the understanding you will have about the nature of the self, the Atma. That's what we see here. Verse number 6. Yeah.
न तद्भासयते सूर्यः न शशाङ्को न पावकः यद्गत्वा न निवर्तन्ते तद्धाम परमं मम न तद्भासयते सूर्यः न शशाङ्को न पावकः यद्गत्वा न निवर्तन्ते तद्धाम परमं मम.
That the sun illumines not, nor moon, nor fire. Either having gone, they return not. That is my supreme abode. In this verse, he gives 2 points here. One, what is the Swarupa? What is the nature of self? And what is the nature of liberation, moksha? So, Atma Swarupa and Moksha Swarupa, both were stated here. That the sun illumines not, nor moon, nor fire. Which means sun is not going to illuminate that, the moon is not going to illuminate it, the fire also not going to illuminate it. Now what we have to understand here is 2 things. One, for us to know anything, there are only 3 sources of knowledge. Right? The sun represents direct light. Moon, indirect, borrowed, reflected. Fire, created. And these are the 3 sources of light. The light means knowledge, as opposed to darkness, which means ignorance. That's what the Upanishad says. Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya. Lead me from darkness to light.
Right.
Darkness to light, now all that you have to do is what? Switch on. That is another prayer. What is the prayer for? Anyway, they know after night, sun is going to come next day. Everybody knows that. In a special prayer, what is the prayer for? Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya is a very pregnant prayer. It's a very important prayer, actually. Because the one who is in darkness is praying for light is something amazing. Because longer you stay in darkness, light will become painful to you. You know that? More you stay in darkness, what happens? Light will hurt you. Longer you live in ignorance, one who is giving you light will hurt you. That's why relationship with the guru is not easy. Yeah, it was very nice in the beginning, sir. Later only it became painful. Nah, that means what? Something wrong there. In the beginning, it should be painful. As you go, it should become better and better and better and better and better. Instead of that, what's happening to most of us is what? The other way around. In the initial stages, it's all like honeymoon period. Fantastic, sir. But after I went closer only, I realized such a chora he is. It's very bad. It was very, very deceptive, sir. I got to know that only when I thought he is a very knowledgeable person, very humble person, all that. After I came close, only I understood what? Such an arrogant fellow he is. The arrogance of the teacher you should experience where? In the beginning. As you move closer only, you should be able to see his humility. Now, our case is what? Exactly opposite. All those people who we stand far away look great. You go closer, it's amazing. I don't know where the fault is actually. Honestly, I don't know. Because the relationship should be like this. That's what the prayer is. It's an invocatory prayer. He's praying, he's pleading, he's reminding himself. Time and again he's reminding. That's why the prayer of every class is same. But the verses keeps varying, the text keep varying. But the invocatory prayer is the same prayer. Why we are repeating the same prayer every class? Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya is invocatory prayer. Which means what? Every time he is going to knowledge, every time he is putting that effort, first thing he tells himself is what? Lead me. Why that is to be done as a prayer? Why not give it as a piece of knowledge? They call it a piece of knowledge. It's a pleading. Please. Why he has to plead? Because it's not in his control. Why? Longer I live in ignorance, light will become pain. If light is a pleasant thing to you when you come out of darkness, what you are calling as light is not light. It is blinding darkness. Andam tamah praveshanti. He vidyam upasate. Those who practice this, they get into andam tamah, greater darkness. Instead of moving from darkness to light, you are moving from darkness to greater darkness. Paitya. What else to call that? Muda, Vimuda, Pramuda. And then they feel so sorry and say, Bala. So this is, you see, that's what he says, that the sun illumines not. Sun is not going to illuminate that. Moon is not going to illuminate that. Fire is not going to illuminate that. Because for us to see anything, you need light. Isn't it? Without light, can you see anything? You need any one of this light. Either the light has to be a direct one, which is sun, and then there has to be a indirect one, which is moon. You see, most of us are like mullah logic. Because as who is important, sunlight or moonlight? The sunlight is useless. Moon is important. Why? Sunlight is giving light when there is light already. Moon is giving light when there is darkness. So therefore, moonlight is more valuable. In darkness, he is giving light. He is more important. No. He says none of those three is going to help. He says all that. For any illumination, these are the three known sources: direct light, indirect light, created light. He says none of these three is going to illumine that. What? For you to see anything, what is required, sir? First thing, the object should be there. I don't think any one of you seeing mango here. No. Why? Because mango is not there. If you see, no, don't tell me. No, I'm seeing a mango. No, don't answer. You don't see mango. Why? Mango is not there. Mango is there, but no light. Then you can't see. Mango is there, light is there, your eye is closed. Then not possible. Okay. Mango is there, light is there, eye is open, mind is somewhere else. Then also you can't see. No? Now you tell me, who is the actual illuminator here of mango? You see that? The sequence. Object is there. For the object to be visible, first thing all of us will say, light should be there, sir. When you probe a little, you will say, sir, light also may be there, but if my eyes closed, then I cannot. Then we will say, light may be there, eye also may be open, but for the perception to complete, you need to have the mind behind. Right? If the mind is absent, you cannot perceive. That's why when you go to the cinema theaters, when you enter the theater, it will be cold. Right? When they give interval time, AC on. During the movie is running, AC will be off. Have you ever registered that? You will never register. Why? Because you are lost in the movies. So you are actually sitting in an AC theater feeling heat, but you will never register that. You think the heat is because you are so involved in the movie, therefore your body is getting heated. You think it's not the case, please. Actually, second half of the movie, you see, they will not. They will not switch on. And suddenly you will see the smell of popcorn coming. Why? You don't register at that time. Why? The person sitting next to you will not even remember. Why? You are lost in the movie. But then these two say, we went over, had a wonderful time. What did you do? We went and watched a movie. Look at each other and spend time. There's a meaning. We had a good time, we can say. Looking at something else, you forgot the person sitting next to you, that person forgot you sitting next to, and then you say we had a wonderful time. For the perception to happen, the thought should be backing it. If the thought is not backing, then your senses may function, object may be there, but the experience will not happen. Right? Now, you are aware of the thought, right? Thought comes,
Yes.
you are aware of the thought.
Yes.
Now, can the thought illumine that awareness?
No.
Or the awareness is that illumines the thought?
It's awareness.
It's the awareness which illumines the thought. What is the proof? How to prove it? No. You can't simply make statements and move. You got to prove.
Deep state.
Awareness can exist even without a thought, mind. The proof they give, the Upanishads give, is the state of deep sleep. In your own experience, in deep sleep, is there a thought?
No.
No thought. No thought, no body, no world. Why no world? Because no body. Why no body? Because no mind. In the dream, you are having a different body, therefore different world, different mind. Mind is still functioning in dream. In deep sleep, mind is not functioning. Thoughts are not functioning. Right? Remember this example. So first point we understand from this verse is the sun illumines not, moon illumines not, which means all the three sources of knowledge, all that knowledges belong to the domain of thoughts. Right? Sun, moon, fire equals knowledge, equals thought. But then the consciousness which is illuminating the thought cannot be illuminated by the thought. Understood? Because the way you're all looking at me, like, that's what he says. No knowledge which is direct knowledge which you may get from the Vedas, indirect knowledge that you may get from the Smritis, or your own research and development is going to bring out the knowledge of God. Not possible. Then, if none of these known sources not possible, the question comes to us, then how do you know the self? How can you know God then? How can you know the consciousness? Because all knowledge belongs to the category of thoughts. It's a thought. Right? But that consciousness is not a thought. Since it is not a thought, no amount of knowledge is going to make you know about that consciousness. So the question he is asking is this. So he says that the sun illumines not, nor the moon, nor the fire. Then suddenly he switches over to something unconnected. Where they're having gone, they return not. Hey, they have connection. You're all following that.
Yeah.
See, he says, the sun is not illuminating, moon is not illuminating, fire is not illuminating. Okay, so suddenly he says, having gone, they return not. That is my abode. That's my address. Permanent address. Permanent address is, you see that unconnected way it presents like. That's a typical style of Vedanta. Upanishadic style that is. If you look, suddenly they go to, what are you talking? What are you saying, man? That sun illumines not, moon, nor fire. Having gone to which place? That's what? Yat. Where? Gone. Where? That, underline that word. Dhama means the place. Param. Paramam is the supreme. That supreme abode. You must have heard this Paramapadam, no? Paramapadam. The place. That's what he's referring. The Dhamma is that. The Paramapada. That supreme place. That is my place where they achieve that. Having gone, they return not. Sir, the problem is, there's a lot of things needs to be decoded here. First one is, he says, having gone, which means what? You are not there now. Once you go from here to Delhi, you will never return. Okay. Which means what? Right now, you are not in Delhi. Correct? Forget about returning and all that. First question is, you are not in Delhi, number one. Number two, what is a guarantee? Because if you can move from Bangalore to Delhi, if this movement is possible, logically, how can we say movement is not possible from Delhi to somewhere else? Forget about you coming back to Bangalore. Okay, you may say, I will not come back to Bangalore, sir. Once I go to Delhi, that's it. Once I go to the national politics, I will not come to state politics. Okay. But then from national politics, you can go to international politics now. Correct? Which means what? That's not permanent. Wherever you go, how can you call that as a permanent place? Which means wherever he is referring to, that abode is supreme, you can say only if it is a permanent one. If permanent one, how that is fitting in, where he is explaining. And forget about the next verse, he goes to somewhere else actually. It's like, it's almost like this mantra only it is. The 15th chapter should not be called as the, shloka. 15th chapter should be called as mantras. That's why these Upanishads were called as a mantra. We don't call it as shloka. It's like that. First thing, slowly we need to untie. It's like all the knots, you have to untie it slowly. Unconnectedly, you have to lose something. Unconnectedly, you have to lose something else. Unconnectedly, you have to lose something else. And suddenly you will see the whole thing is cleared. That's why you have to study 15th chapter. It's a very tough chapter. Absolutely tough. Very tight. You will understand the tightness of it only when you pay attention. Otherwise, when you read, that the sun illumines, moon illumines, having gone, they don't return, and that's my supreme abode. God is there, no? God place is supreme, obviously. That place is the best. Vaikuntha is the best place you can be, all that you can describe. But then, what are you talking, man? Say, na. Slowly you have to do it. Right? First, stay with this idea. First thing you understand in this verse is this. Sun, moon, fire means lights, sources of light. Light equals knowledge, which means sources of knowledge. What are the three sources? Direct, indirect, created. All three belongs to thought. Which means the thoughts are not going to enlighten you about God, Brahman, Atman, self, consciousness, awareness, etc. It's not. Then how? Question 1. Second question we have, second problem we'll get into is, what does he mean by suddenly switching over to having gone, they don't return? And then he claims that is my supreme abode. That's what my place is. 3 points. Okay. Remind me of these 3 points next class. I will forget. Okay. The next week when I open, I will start somewhere else. Right. So remind me these 3. I'll explain this 3 and then we will proceed to the next one.